Okay guys, I want to make a video on how to start um, in the desert now that we have a new meta or a new actually I'm just going to leave that for the moment. Now that they've made changes to the game. So what I kind of would like to do is make some way to grow trees, because what I would like to do is make a windmill to make wheat. And so what I want to do first of all though is go ahead and get a pond going. So I think I'm going to have to end up selling some wheat in order to make this work. But I don't want to sell like tons of wheat. And I think I'm going to go ahead and remove this guy. And you'll notice that once this pond is completed, then we'll be able to passively water that wheat plant right there. So that's going to be a great thing, a benefit there. If any of my buildings look funny, I have I can just turn my skins off, okay? So that way, well, they're already turned off. Well, most of them are. I'll just go ahead and remove these so that you can see that it is possible to do what I'm doing without having skins or any other NFTs. And I think I may be selling my NFTs. I sold my wheat stand because they made me angry with the change to the feed mill, that right now it takes two wheat to do the feed mill. So that kind of made me angry, and I lost my temper and sold my my wheat stand, which may or may not be an error. I found out after that though that they made the windmills. It only takes 2 wheat now. So if you had some windmills right up next to your wheat stand, you could do well, if you put roads all the way around, you could have 7 of them, right? So that would be really excellent, especially, and they've also made it where they only require 1 wood. So that really is a big help. They've made trees only need 1 water. So that's a good thing as well. What I could do here is put a pond here, and then it will give these two we could put two ponds here, and then I could have all these inside. Getting enough water. But I'm going to start with one pond, and that will be automatic. I'll plant two trees. They'll both need one water each. And I believe that I should be able to get a windmill going. Now, if I look, windmill now is only 7,500. Okay, so I can, as soon as I get this pond built, I can, and if you don't want to wait for the guys to like slowly do this, you could get rid of the wheat field here, and what I'm going to do here is I am going to go ahead and create another wheat field. And so now I've got two. Oh, that one's one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. No, it's this. 1, 2, 3. So if you look, if you count from here, 1, 2, and if this is 2, well, the space right next to it is 1. So this one is getting one shade by being there, but that's all right. We'll kind of keep the farmer a little busy, and if we need to, we could put another one down here or something. We'll see how that goes. So that might have been a mistake. Watching me do this, you might be like, well, let me put it somewhere else. So right here, I want to put a windmill, and because this does not cause wind block, and this does not cause wind block. So this would be 1, 2, so it doesn't go past there. Alright, I had to pause for a minute, got a phone call. So what I've done is I have planted a couple trees here, built the windmill, turned it on for wheat, or flour rather, and letting it go. So I had to put a lumberjack over here. I put a piece of road so I can put, end up putting 3 things. I want to do another farmer, but right now you can see that we're keeping up wheat wise, we're keeping up wood wise, everything is going fine. So probably the next thing that I'm going to do is go 1, 2, 3 and put a another windmill over here. So I can build the road out. That'll be what, 4,000? 1, 2, 3. It'll be 3,000 for that, and then another 750. So they changed the price of flour a little bit. It's only $20K now, but that'll give me enough funds to go ahead and build that. Now, if you, I've talked about this in other videos, I don't know if you've seen it, but they have built-in auto cell. Okay, so what we can do, and let me make this bigger. I don't know why I minimized that. Anyway, so you can change this and say how many, or you can just leave it at 0, and that means every time you get to 10 wheat it would sell. But we're not going to turn it on for wheat. We would rather sell flour. So I'm going to add that to the flour. Then I go up and I close it, and then you have to go in and turn it on. And the only thing right now, I don't know if they're going to change this. The only negative about this little thing as opposed to a script is every time that you log back in, you have to reset that up. Now, if you're doing something that is not really all that complicated, like right now we're just selling flour, it's not a big deal. If you're doing something like wine, and I don't know how many of you have done wine, but you have to set it up to sell about 20 different things. That might get a little frustrating. So I hope they fix that so that that it will hold from, each time that you go in and modify it and exit out of it, that it'll stay the same. Okay, so now we're dealing with 21,000. Actually, let's go ahead and get this building started so that let me make sure that that is right. 1, 2, 3 blank ones, and then we're going to have our windmill right there. Now they left those at 5 wood to build, which is a wonderful thing. They have changed a lot of stuff to the point where it's a little bit irritating. Used to, when you would grow oak trees, it would cost you 5 water, 5 or if you do it passively, you needed 5 water. Now it's 6. Okay, so it is a bit of a different thing, but another thought about that is that when you're growing you might not have ever grown oak trees, right? If you've not done wine, you probably haven't, unless you did one of those special events that they have a while back. But the thing about that is now they've made it so that water pumps and or water facilities require you to have wood and oak. I did not. I've done a build, and I did not do a water facility in that build, but if you notice, it takes 2 wood and 1 oak. So if you wanted to do that, or if you wanted to do the other, what you can do is, say that you didn't have room to grow it, you just remove one of your trees, put your plant your oak trees there, let it grow, and it takes, I think, 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, I don't even remember now, but it takes oak trees a good long time to grow. You let it grow, and then the lumberjack will pick it just like they do that. And you also need room in your woodshed for it. So just keep that in mind. It works just like regular trees, except for the fact that it takes 1 extra water, and it also takes and now everything takes forever to actually build. Okay, so it takes 1 extra water, and it takes everything else is the same. It takes like a few minutes to grow. So the grow time is different. They also said that they were changing the regular trees to be, I want to say, 1 minute instead of just 30 seconds. I don't know if they're going to change it or not. Honestly, I'm a little bit irritated with some of their changes that they made. It wouldn't bother me so much if they had not changed the feed mills to be that totally changed the dynamic, in my opinion, of a wheat stand. And it pretty much is them, I felt like, dictating that, well, you can still use your wheat stand to get started in the game. You can use it with your windmills, but you're going to be penalized otherwise. I don't know. So anyway, that's not really a big deal. If I put another pond here, I could have 6 water on this middle one, and then 5 on the ends, and then that way I could put my oak in the middle and still be fine. And the thing of it is, now I didn't plan for it here, but probably you could, if you're setting up some ponds or whatever, you can make it where you could plant stuff on both sides. So basically, if I had 3 ponds right in a row like that, I could plant 3 trees on both sides of the ponds. So that is convenient. So what I'm going to do is, this is not going really fast, and that's what they want. That was their intention, was to slow things down. But really, as far as the windmills go, they've sped it up, right? So, and if I wanted to make a road that goes over to that side, over to here, that would speed my lumberjack up a little bit, but I'm not really that worried about it. But if you see that my lumberjack is going and taking a nap, that is probably not good. So when I go ahead and do this, then these trees will, like I say, they'll be automatic. And I could put another woodshed here, and that would not further affect my plant there, and that way it would give me more room to put some oak in there. The only thing is, the oak, with it growing slower, you kind of really have to manage that. But if you have two woodsheds, then you can just, if you click on one and you're needing space, but all this one's got is wood, you can just flush it, and so that is convenient. So just don't forget all the things that we've learned about the functionality of our buildings and all this business. These changes are really just a little bit of an inconvenience, because you kind of have to rethink what you've been doing, and it's all been second nature, and you do it without thinking about it. And I'm going to go ahead and actually, I keep acting like I want to do that, but I'm not really in need of another farmer yet. I've still got a surplus of wheat in there. I have a surplus of wood. So it's not, the only thing is, with one more, well, here's the thing. I'm about to sell flour. Then after I sell flour, I'm going to build a pond. The ponds are 10K now. The only bad thing is you only get 2,500 when you sell ponds. But I do think it's a bigger advantage that you can build ponds more cheaply now. So I like that. And so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just keep going with this. And you can see we've only sold 2 times, so we're in good shape gasoline wise. I'm going to have to build my power plants and all those things down this way, and get all this going. I'm trying to think. I don't really want to have to remove those cactuses. But here's the thing. They've made it where you kind of have to get your gasoline production going before you can really have your power production going. Before, it was like build the power plants and gasoline all at once. Pretty simple. But what I'm going to end up doing is I am going to put a warehouse and a worker down here, and put some wind turbines. I'm going to have to get that going here in a little bit. Like I say, we're doing really well on gas, but that's going to be my next thing. I think is going to be get those things going and start filling up a warehouse with power, because if you have about 4 wind turbines that are not blocked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you have to build it at least on the 6th row out from the mountain if you are building next to a mountain, because you don't want to be wind blocked. So anyway, I'm going to build a warehouse and get a worker going. And the thing is, the warehouse is going to stay, but the worker is just going to be temporary. So keep that in mind. The worker, I need him. I don't need him, as long as I've got an oil seep, I don't need him for anything except for fetching energy from our wind turbines to our warehouse. And then when I get the refineries going, I'm going to have a pond and a couple of water pumps. So the water will be passive. For the one making petroleum, the crude oil will be passive. And so all that I will really have to worry about is going to be the what do you call it? The energy. And so to start with, we'll be having to sort of do a manual process as far as that goes. So that is where we are. So I'm going to go ahead though and just let this town kind of run like it is. I might I could build another windmill out this way, and so that I might do that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Actually, yeah. What I'll do is I will count out my spaces. What I want to do is be 3 away from that. So I want it to be at least the windmill itself to be at least this far out, and then I can do 1, 2, 3. I could build one as close as this to that. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I could put one over here, and then maybe put one over in this area or something. But what I want to do is take a few minutes to look at the what's going to affect what and how many can I get in here the best way. And so that's what I'm going to be looking at. But right now, keep this in mind. If I build up too much and get it going too quickly, this is all new to me. So I can't say, oh well, I feel comfortable doing about 10 windmills or whatever, because I don't know. But what I can do is just kind of, build, add some and see, and then my next build I might do a little differently. And the advantage that you have here is that I can tell you what it is that I have figured out works well. Um, but right now I'm just kind of showing you how this can be done, but I'm not necessarily saying, oh, well, this is the best way. I do believe, as I have for quite a long time, if you don't have any NFTs, you're better to do blue steel. And the map that I chose is going to be lend itself to that pretty well. I haven't done one with a oil seep in a while, so I kind of need to think about my layout, but I will come back and show you guys what I figured out. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing here. I've got to look at this stuff. So, like I say, I'm not in a huge hurry. I've got to build up a lot of money to do this stuff because they've changed the prices. For example, it costs now $250,000 plus 10 lumber, 10 wood, and 10 energy to build a power plant. Now the refinery is 10 wood, I think it was 5 before, and 15,000, which is the same. The only good thing about that is that it no longer requires a paved road. Okay, so that makes that a little bit cheaper to get started. They've changed the lumber mill to be $100 per minute now. It was $50, and it's still $50K to build, and still 5 wood. Okay, so I thought they changed it to 10, but maybe not. So you know, that's not horrible. It's just double the amount of money to run it. The mines, looks like they're going to be just a lot to run. They've increased the price to build one by $5,000. If you need oil pumps, they're the same. Our steel mills, looks like they changed the price. Those were $2 million to build. Now they're $1.5 million. Okay, so that's actually better. The $750 a minute, to be honest, I don't know why I said to be honest. I'm always honest. And I don't mean that to be conceited. I just don't think it's good practice to lie about things. Anyway, they are, so it's $750 a minute. So I don't know if that's normal or not normal. But anyway, this is probably getting quite a bit boring. I will be back to show you what I've done after I've done, taken the time and done a few things. If you notice, this is, these are popping by themselves now. So he's able, the Lumberjack is able to better supply the windmills with wood, and that is kind of what I would like. And if I build at some point I'm going to have to put some roads so that he can kind of go down the roads and get over to those a little more quickly, I think. Oh, that, and mentioning roads, that reminds me. If you notice, to upgrade the roads to paved, it costs $30,000 to build a paved road, and it takes 1 lumber and 3 wood. So it's a little more expensive now. So anyway, I'll be back. Alright guys, what I have done since I was last here, I believe, is I've added a farmhouse, another lumberjack, and a couple more windmills making flowers. So right now I am just collecting money so that I can start looking at making gasoline production. So if you think about it, now I know that we have more to run on, but if I'm getting 20,000 every time I sell flour, and I've got 30 more times to sell, okay, so that's 600K. So that sounds like a lot, but it's not necessarily. But I think that it will be more than enough to get my gasoline production going. And like I said, I've got to do a warehouse, which is about 10 or 15 K. I can't remember if they've changed it or not. No, that's under industrial. Okay, so that's 15K for the warehouse. Then I've got to pay for a worker, which is about 2,500. I've got to pay for some wind turbines. If I make it right here, which is, I'm thinking about this area, and I need to sit down and kind of map it out a little bit, but that would be interfering with that right there, but I'm not really running that low on wheat. Plus, got 2 more spots that I could use, but don't really want to have to move my what do you call that, storehouse, because that's going to be a little expensive. So anyway, right now things are looking good. I've got enough time to figure out how I'm going to build this. I'm kind of doing this on the fly a little bit, just to kind of show you how to get started. Now, the thing of it is, you can always, if you build it a certain way, you can always rebuild it. And if, you know, I would prefer not to delete my oil seep since I have it, but if it turned out that that I didn't see a good way to do it without it, then I could delete that, get 25K for it, and just use oil pumps. That is certainly doable. I'm not sure if you look at my videos if I have any where I'm using the oil seep or I'm using oil pumps, but either way you can make it work, and I'm going to sit and calculate out basically what the way I'm going to figure it is. I want this whole back row to be mined. Now, here's the reality of it. They've changed everything. They're making it harder. So, if I am having to spend $100 a minute for each mine, then, and I've got 16 of them, well, then I'm going to be spending $1,600 a minute just for the mines. I don't think that's all that totally unreasonable, and it may have been 100 before, but I kind of don't think it was. Might have been 50, but it could have been 100 before. I'm not sure. But anyway, so I'm going to have mines, and I'm going to plan for all the way across. And the bottom line that I was getting to in a slow, roundabout way is, with the changes, I don't know if it's going to be practical to have mines all the way across or not, but I'm hoping that I can do that. Now, so therefore, I want this whole row to be paved roads. So if that's a paved road, and then I need to sort of look at where it is that I want my my power plant. Now, if I put a power plant, let me see, mine, road, power plant. Okay, so then if I put it here, I need to kind of count from the side and make sure that whether I need to put it like right here or right here. And the oil seep goes 4, 3, 2. So technically I could put a power plant there and be just fine with being able to utilize that power plant to make oil, energy. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied here. And also, though, it goes, all 3 of the parts that touch it are counting. So if you go 4, 3, 2, this one would be fine as well, and 4, 3, 2, that one would be fine. So what I'm going to have to do, what I could do, is possibly have that one and that one, if they work out correctly from if I'm going from which end. But I need to map it out, and you'll see it more clearly. But if you're just going rogue on this, I'm trying to tell you the things that I'm thinking about when I'm doing it, and that way you can also take those same items into consideration. So if I put like a pond here, and put a water pump and a water pump, and then have 2 power plants, well, then that sounds great, except for then I would not be able to put my my petroleum producing refinery right here, and it still have enough get enough oil that I don't need a oil pump. So in that case, then I might have to put it back here. And also I have to consider in my build that I'm going to have this oil seep in the way, that I can't build right there. So anyway, I want to look at it and maybe draw it out on paper and try and think about before I start building all these expensive buildings, what I need to do. In the meantime, while I'm thinking about it, I'm collecting some money, and so it won't be long, and I'll be ready to start building. I'm gonna uh, pause this and come back when I have when I can go further beyond what I'm doing right now. So I'll be back. Alright guys, a while ago when I tried to pause, I pressed the wrong buttons and ended up crashing the game. And then when I got back on, I forgot to turn my custom auto sell back on. So I've been sitting here for who knows how long not selling stuff and having it destroyed, I assume. So be careful when you're doing that. If you crash, remember that you have to start it back. But let me go ahead and tell you uh, what I have decided to do. Um, I'm going to build. Right now, I went ahead and put a pond here, and just have put some road pieces. You in the beginning you're kind of torn between, yeah, I want to build it all out, and yeah, I don't have the money to to build all that. So you kind of have to be careful and don't overdo it when you're starting out. But if you notice, the town is running uh, pretty well, fairly efficiently, not great. And all these road, or some of the road here is optional. I just wanted to speed up my workers a little bit. The windmills, of course, do require a piece of road to be by them. Now, what I decided to do is I will have this will be my road, right? And so I'm going to have a power plant here and have one here, and then I'm going to skip two because this will be something else. Then I'm going to have a road. Wait a minute. No, is that right? Have one here, have one here, and then I'm skipping two, and yeah, and then I'm going to have one here, which this will be my second one that I build. It'll be a pond, a water pump, and a power plant, and then the road. And then in between these two, right here, I will have this, and then I'll have, or that's going to be my refinery. I'm sorry, you're not reading my mind, right, guys? And so then I'll have a spot here where I can put like a piece of road, and then put in the middle here, if I choose to, I could put a steel mill. Okay, and so we'll see how that goes. What I am mainly concerned about is, like, this area is going to be kind of tight, if you will. So what I'll have a no, this will be my petroleum refinery. This one will be my gasoline. And like I say, I'm going to go ahead and build when it comes time, I'll build a pond and a water pump and a power plant. And so I'm going to build a water pump here, and this one there'll be a power plant here, but this will also feed water to my petroleum and my gasoline. And so I'll have another power plant here, and so then I need this. So this will be a refinery, and that'll be the paved road for that. Or I'm going to pave that road, but so I'll have two spots here, and this will have a water pump on each side. So I could put a piece of road here and put another steel mill here. So I'm just trying to plan ahead and make sure that I get things set up correctly. So far everything is going well. Like I said, the town is doing good. I've only got 4 windmills, but with the changes that they made to those, they're bringing in money pretty well. And I think once I get my warehouse built, I'm going to have some, and I put it back here because I don't want to have to move it. So this can stay on the back row, and I'll probably put a couple more warehouses over here because of the spaces that I'm going to have, and probably move my fuel tank over into this area as well. You'll see it as I do it, but and this video is going to be long. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I need to, like I said, get a worker set up temporarily, and I need to get some wind turbines set up temporarily. When I get my first power plant going, then I can certainly do away with the worker and the wind turbines. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And don't forget, you got to set your wind turbines 5 rows back at least. So right in this area, probably have some. All right, and they need to be 2 spaces away from your crops and 2 spaces away from most other stuff. So and also you want to, if you're considering, if you're going to be building your refineries, you want to be like 4 spaces away from your refineries. So just keep all that in mind when you're building. You need to watch out, and I'll be back. Okay guys, what I've done is I've only got 1 water pump, right? So I went ahead and built the petroleum producing refinery first. Then I'm going to put a pond and a water pump, so that would be 10 plus 30. I know, those are great prices, right? And then I can put my gas producing refinery here. But right now, there's no reason why I shouldn't go ahead and be creating some petroleum, because we have space in our uh, fuel storage to do that. So I'll just let that run, and that's not going to hurt anything. Um, and like I say, I can do those next. Then I'll probably temporarily just go ahead and put a uh, lumber mill in so that I can produce some lumber for the purpose of uh, building a power plant. So everything is looking good. If I need to uh, run off temporarily, if I need to run uh, gasoline production off of wind turbines, then I can certainly add a couple more. I've got plenty of space to do so. Um, so I can just, count over two spaces. Let's see, one, two. So I could put one as close as right there, and it won't be that much farther for my worker to walk, and I can have more energy going. This is a lot faster to produce petroleum when you don't have to worry about the crude oil, and so I love that about the desert. Okay, so I don't want this video to get too long, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, I don't know if I mentioned before, but I'm going to have a road here, so I just went ahead and built this out just a little bit, and temporarily. I was anticipating building a lumber mill. I'll probably just put it right here, since it's going to be temporary, and put some road here. Anyway, I also put another farmhouse. It probably wouldn't hurt to have more than that, but I just didn't do it in a permanent way right now. It's just over here, out of the way. Those aren't all that terribly expensive to build or rebuild. And then 2 spaces over from this, I created another wind turbine so that I can be running once once I get this refinery built. I'll be able to run gas and petroleum at the same time. But since I'm getting ahead in petroleum and already have it going, I could probably stop this and just concentrate on gasoline for the time being. And then at some point though, when I create the lumber mill, and I'm going to be making lumber for the power plant, then we are going to want to plan on having 20 energy that we can use to make that 10 lumber, because it takes 2 energy per piece of lumber. So as we go, we can do it, but we're probably, unless we add probably at least 2 more wind turbines, we're not going to be able to really run uh, both of the refineries and the lumber mill without running completely out of energy. Therefore, when it comes time for that, probably we'll have enough gas that we can actually turn both of these off just for that time period. But I am needing to go tend to my dinner, so um, I'm just getting you guys caught up. I'm gonna finish building this. Notice I only have one worker. I'm not rushing through this stuff because it takes big money, and you can see though that I am collecting some money. It'll be $50K for the lumber mill, and then for each power plant it's going to be like 250,000, and wages go up for all this stuff, so it'll be something that we have to experience, or at least for me, I have to experience it in order to know, like I say, better next time. However, I can tell you now that having these 4 windmills, I feel like it is a good steady pace. Now you could go with 5 or 6 windmills and still be, probably, if you've got a quicker mind and can pay more attention to it, then that would be fine. But probably I would have to amp up my wheat production just a little bit. And like I say, I could potentially do that. I could move that storehouse to right here, and then remove these 2. Let me see. Yeah, and if I wanted to plant, I could plant in both of these spots, but I'd also probably want to move that to a different location, maybe over here or something. But it's certainly possible to, go to do it and go even faster than what I'm going. But I am just trying to kind of, show you it can be done, make it understandable, and also a little cautious to not run out of money, or make myself have to do anything that would cause me to restart my town. So anyway, I'm going to pause this, and I'll be back in a little bit. Okay guys, I am just about ready to build my first power plant, and remember, you have to do paved road, and it takes 1 lumber. So instead of just needing 10 lumber for this, I will need 11 total. So, and then I probably need to go ahead and make all these paved roads across in front of these. But right now, the first thing I want to do is get my power plant up and running, and then I'll go from there. And so that's where I am. I just wanted to take a quick second and let you know what's up. Okay guys, this is pretty much it as far as getting started. I went ahead and created this other power plant. Sorry, all of a sudden I couldn't think of what it was. And if you notice, I've got this refinery turned off. It's the one making petroleum, but I am ahead on petroleum, so I'm going to let my gas refinery catch up with that and use up all the petroleum that I have, and then I'll turn that back on and let them roll. I've just gotten this completed, and I've got several windmills to make wheat, and you you know, I didn't have to put that freight depot there, but I had to put my stuff down so I could collect my points. So I was like, might as well go ahead and put my freight depots. But that's not going to make that much difference if you're close to town, and I got close to town. So if I need to, I could make a pond here and have 6 more wheat, but I don't. Well, I'm actually starting to go down in wheat, so maybe I do. Maybe I will do that. I'll probably, I guess I have enough to remove these cactus. So that's what I plan to do, is just get this town set up so that I have the ability to just bring in some cash, and I'm going to end it there. I've got something else that I want to make a video about, and you guys will see that video. But basically, this is how you can get started in the desert. Pretty easy. The advantages are, in my opinion, the oil seep is really good for, not needing to have wind turbines everywhere, and you can just turn the power plant on, get free power. You don't need those oil oil. All of a sudden, I am not able to think. Oil pumps all around the place. You just have one spot, and that's that, and it takes care of and I don't need that on because my energy is full, and I'm not going to build right now anything. I'm just going to collect money and get a lot of money, and then I'll start my building. And I believe that that's kind of what they're trying to encourage us to do these days, and so that, that's fine. That's what I'll do. And I'll make another video. I'll make a follow-up video on how to do blue steel. I've made them before, but no, I'll continue this build most likely, unless, sometimes I'll try to video and it doesn't work, but hopefully it will, and I will try and get this build to blue steel. That's what I'm aiming for at this moment. So anyway, whatever you're wanting to build, this is plain, pretty simple. You don't have to do it this way though. You could bunch up these windmills and just let them be read and processed, and you could get a lot more in. Um, I've just spread them out just because that's what I wanted to do. Maybe another time I'll try bunching them up and see if that's a much better plan. But this is working pretty well for me. Anyway, so I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm about to make another one. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.